I've been doing these video blogs for a couple of months now, and I'm going to tell you one thing that has impressed me. When I started out with this, I wanted to try to stimulate activity and energy from the younger generation, and look what's happened over the last 3 weeks. I hadn't anything to do with it, but timing is everything. I love the energy, but the thing I don't like is the lack of information, a lack of awareness about how we got to where we are today and what exactly are they protesting. They don't even know. My question to them would be, why don't you figure that out? Why don't you spend a little time and a little longer attention span and try to find out what these interconnected problems are and how we got to where we are today. I talk about it in my book. But at the same time, we have to try to find a single thing that we can win, something that we can prove to re-energize the population to maybe want to learn this information. How about instead of attacking Wall Street, we pick one company that's especially heinous, like, hey, B of A. They're vulnerable. They've lost 80% of their value over the last 3 years. Why don't you pull all your money out of their bank, show that as an example to other large predatory corporations that we're not going to put up with it anymore. Start with one and work your way around the block. A great example of that would be the NBA strike right now. They're arguing over $4 billion. The average player makes $5 million. You think he gives a darn about the fact you're unemployed? They're sitting there squabbling over percentages while 40% of our population can't even find work. So you got the right to boycott. You got the right to learn all these civic responsibilities which nobody has done for the last 30 years. We've forgotten the ability to think about what's going on behind it. So we go after a company like B of A. How about the fact that we in the state of California have had Pelosi and Feinstein as our senators for a combined 41 years? Does anybody like anything these people have done to keep returning them every 6 years to those positions? It's insane. We brought back a governor from the 1970s to run things, for God's sake. Problem that I see is nobody likes the people that are running for office right now because we can't elect a real human being, because God forbid if our president likes sex. God forbid if he's a divorcee. God forbid if he's had any flaws at all, because if he doesn't fit those perfect little numbers, the media rips him to shreds and then you won't vote for him either. So, what are we going to do about it? Well, we got to start getting over that. We got to start letting some of our greatest leaders are flawed, and their flaws were available for everybody to see. Do you really think Obama's as perfect as he comes across? Do you think Romney is? Those are your two choices come next November. You're going to have Romney on the Republicans, you're going to have Obama on the Democrats, and Obama's going to be their president for the next 4 years, regardless of the fact that he's done just as much to help keep this economy in stuck mode as anybody else. He's got Geithner, for God's sake, as his Treasury Secretary, and this man was partially responsible for the meltdown to begin with. And he's the one he's getting direction from as they print up more and more dollars. Anyway, these are the lessons you've got to learn. You've got to understand how we fit within the world. You've got to understand the corruption that's going on in Afghanistan and the billions of dollars we're throwing into that hellhole. Iraq. All these things are interconnected. It's a one world now. We have to understand how everything fits if we want to make an argument that's going to stick and make real change. So, I've got a blog, I've got comments on theothersideoflight.com that you can leave for me and see how you feel about what I'm presenting here, because I think I've got some good answers for this. We got to start one at a time. And if you take it down one at a time, the momentum you can build on that, if you're right, if you're informed, if you're educated to the real issues, and you ignore this crap coming from CNN, MSNBC, and Fox, maybe we can make a difference and start something new on the internet. It's worth a shot. We owe it to our kids.